Anime fans love the debate over the most powerful anime characters that are invincible. Time and time again, anime and manga fans talk about the anime characters that are practically invincible, even though they will likely never battle. So welcome back to Animeology, and today we will show you the top 10 anime characters that are practically invincible. Before we begin, be sure to drop a like and subscribe down below for more anime top 10s, and without further ado, let's get right into the video. Number 10. Kenshin Himura. He may be number 10 on our video, but don't underestimate this red-haired ex-Hitokuri from the Rurouni Kenshin series. Despite his small stature, he's regarded as one of the most powerful and legendary swordsmen to ever exist. After slaughtering countless people during the Meiji Revolution, Kenshi hung up his blade, vowing to never kill again. He travels around Japan as a Rurouni, a wandering, masterless samurai seeking redemption for the lives he's taken. Kenshin wields a sakabato as his weapon of choice, a katana with a blade forged on the opposite side, making it a poor fit for killing. While Kenshin's vow to not ever kill again makes him less dangerous as an enemy, he is in no way weak. He inherits the Hiten Mitsurugi Ryu sword style from his master, a form of kenjutsu meant to allow a single samurai to defeat multiple enemies at once. Also known as the Flying Heavenly Sword style, this type of fighting is based on speed. Countless times, we've seen Kenshin rip through a horde of bandits in mere seconds. The fact that he can take out so many enemies while refusing to kill just shows how skilled he really is. For example, if he uses the sharp side of his sword, he can cut through steel like hot butter. Number 9. Shinichi Izumi.
Completely different from when I fought Mr. A. There it is. The tentacles move while morphing at the same time. Unbelievable.
A warning for the easily scared. Parasite is not a series for the faint of heart. It's violent and utterly devastating. But terrible circumstances always lead to interesting heroes, and Shinichi Izumi is one of the most unique in anime history. In this series, human bodies are taken over by parasitic aliens that feast on human flesh. Shinichi is lucky that the alien parasite, Migi, only takes over his hand and not his entire body. When they first bond, Shinichi is an average teenager who relies on Migi to protect him. Migi is able to change shape, composition, and is incredibly smart and strong for his size. However, after Shinichi is attacked and almost killed by another alien, Migi disperses 30% of his body into Shinichi's. This causes Shinichi to develop powers similar to the parasites. He gains enhanced strength, speed, durability, and vastly improved mental faculties. By himself, he may not be much of a fighter, but after contracting alien powers, he's many times stronger than a normal human. Not to mention, Migi is incredibly smart and is a combat strategist for the two. This allows them to take out enemies much stronger than themselves, such as the practically invincible Goto. Number 8. Guts. Few anime series are more tragic than Berserk. Seriously, this guy just can't catch a break. But tragedy can give way to great strength, and Guts is no exception. Guts, also referred to as the Black Swordsman, is an ex-mercenary and one of the unlucky humans to be branded with the brand of sacrifice, a brand that causes him to be hunted by flesh-craving monsters. Lucky for us, but unlucky for Guts, he's been forced to battle humans, monsters, and gods his entire life. Since the age of 9, he's been a soldier on the battlefield. His titanic strength is a result from, at the age of 6, training with swords that were way too big for him. His combat abilities are so great that during his mercenary days, he single-handedly defeated a troop of 100 soldiers. He is strong enough to take out a number of apostles, former humans who have ascended to join the ranks of demonkind. Perhaps more powerful than any weapon he has is Guts' incredible willpower. We can't even begin to list the terrible things that have happened to him. However, we can wholeheartedly say that a man who would cut off his own arm to get his enemy is someone you don't want to mess with. Coming in at number 7, Yusuke Urameshi. Yusuke Urameshi is the half-human, half-demon protagonist in the series Yu Yu Hakusho. As a spirit detective, he protects the human world from supernatural threats like spirits and demons. His prowess with spiritual energy, plus his demonic ancestry, puts him leagues above his human companions. He has incredible endurance, shown when he fought for 60+ hours against Yomi, one of the rulers of the demon realm. A shockwave from his punch at 1/3 of his power is enough to knock out a boxer. He also has a mastery of spirit energy, which allows him to fire multiple different kinds of projectiles to defeat his enemies. His signature move, the Spirit Gun, fires a concentrated blast of energy from his right index finger. In the beginning of the series, it was enough to smash a small boulder. By the end, once Yasuke unlocked his demon powers, it was near to the destructive level of atomic explosions. Unfortunately, we never really got to see his full power in action, because the Demon World Tournament saga was underwhelmingly short. However, we know that his father, Raitsen, was at one time the most powerful demon in the demon realm. We can only assume that Yusuke will follow in his footsteps. Number 6, Akira Fudo. Akira Fudo is the protagonist in the 1972 anime series Devilman. Originally a weak-willed teenage crybaby, Akira gains the powers and memories of the demon hero Amon, when Amon possesses him. However, due to the fact that he has a pure heart, Akira retains his human consciousness despite gaining a whole host of demonic powers. He uses these powers to protect humanity from hordes of demonic creatures who seek humanity's destruction. How strong do you get when you're possessed by a demon? Pretty strong, apparently. And it's nothing like Reagan McNeil from The Exorcist. No, Devilman doesn't spew out liters of green bile. Instead, when Akira transforms, his strength, speed, reflexes, endurance, and combat skills all rise to superhuman, or super demon, levels. He has enough physical strength to literally tear demons in half with his bare hands, leap over tall buildings in a single bound a la Superman, fly, project energy beams from his antenna, teleport, and breathe hot enough flames to reduce his enemies to ash within seconds. Furthermore, he can phase through walls and can even increase his size, as if being a regular-sized demon wasn't scary enough. He shows signs of telepathic abilities, but watching him tear demonic beasts in half barehanded proves to us just how powerful he is. Number 5, Mob. With 100% certainty, we can say that Shigeo Kageyama, aka Mob, from Mob Psycho 100, definitely looks like the weakest character on this list. He has a generally passive expression on his face, and that bowl cut isn't doing him any favors. Mob isn't physically powerful, but he has incredible latent psychic abilities that are triggered by extreme emotions. Due to an incident when he was a kid, he subconsciously sealed away most of his power. However, when a particular emotion like anger or sadness or courage reaches 100%, his full psychic abilities are unleashed. When his hair stands on end and he finally assumes an expression on his face, it's a good sign to run away. Mob has immeasurable telekinetic powers, able to move entire buildings, create indestructible force fields, fly, and disassemble/reconstruct matter on a molecular level. Add on to this that he can absorb energy from other espers and the environment around him, and Mob's power seems limitless. The only reason he isn't higher on the list is because if he isn't at 100% or %% of his power, some higher ranked characters could defeat him. He can only achieve that %% when he's unconscious and acting on survival instinct alone. But if he gets to that state, our advice to all anime characters is to walk in the opposite direction. Number 4, Toriko.
釘パンチ
Toriko, from the anime series of the same name, is the epitome of brute strength. The number of holes that he has punched through adversaries is truly mind-boggling. He's a member of the 4 Heavenly Kings, gourmet hunters who stand a level above the rest. In a world where food is at the center of everything, Toriko spends his life hunting and eating rare ingredients. A single punch is enough to shatter a mountain, and clenching his fists generate enough power to cause a gust of wind. Fitting for a series focused on food, 2 of Toriko's main attacks are Fork and Knife. Fork is a piercing attack that Toriko performs with his hand in a claw-like position. He can easily pierce through most surfaces and uses this technique to immobilize his prey. Knife is a chopping attack that, despite being flesh and bone, is ridiculously sharp and can cut through steel. His strength is also greatly augmented by the appetite demons that live inside of him. These are literal monsters, born from the appetite of gourmet cells who choose a host to inhabit. Toriko is unique in that he has 3 appetite demons residing in his body. Over time, Toriko learns to harness these powers to an extent, but the demons are incredibly powerful and misusing them could completely destroy him. Number 3. Lane Iwakura. Iwakura Lane is the protagonist of the science fiction series Serial Experiments Lane. The story focuses around Lane and her introduction to The Wired, a global virtual reality world similar to the internet. The series focuses on the increasingly thin, invisible line between what is real and what is virtual, and what happens when that line fades. For broad strokes purposes, think The Matrix. The series progresses and Lane eventually discovers that she isn't even human. She is in fact an autonomous and sentient computer program that has been given a corporeal human form to blend into the real world. Her purpose is to sever the invisible barrier between the real world and the Wired. She comes to the realization that she is essentially the goddess of the Wired. Lane is an omnipotent and omnipresent virtual being, which comes with quite a few reality-bending powers. She has the ability to warp reality, shown when she reset all the events that happened in the series. Since she's a computer program, Lane has the ability to manipulate and delete virtual information, making it so people aren't aware of certain events. She can erase or rewrite memories and is an omnipresent being who exists everywhere and within everyone in both the Wired and the real world. Not a fistfighter, but bending reality is a true show of power. Moving on to our number 2, Saitama. Saitama is the main protagonist of the One Punch Man series. In a world filled to the brim with superheroes and superpowers, Saitama rises far above the rest. He is so powerful, in fact, that he faces the daily existential crisis of being too strong to enjoy being a hero. When every battle ends with one punch, fighting becomes a bit monotonous. How did he gain such a ferocious power? According to him, it was a strict training regimen of 100 daily push-ups, sit-ups, squats, and a 10-kilometer run. However, most characters in the show don't believe him, and the origins of his power are a source of mystery to say the least. So, how strong is he? Well, in the entirety of the anime so far, we've seen Saitama throw one serious punch. Against enemies that crush the likes of Genos, a simple swing of Saitama's arm liquidized their abdomen. His one serious attack was in the epic battle against Lord Boros. Saitama's serious punch negates an attack from Boros that has enough power to destroy a planet. The shockwave of the punch alone ripped Boros to shreds and parted the clouds around the entire Earth. Boros then mentioned that this wasn't even close to his full power. And finally, number 1, Zeno. Yep, this short, colorful, football-shaped head guy is the most powerful character in anime. Also referred to as the Omni King, He's one of the kings of the 12 universes, alongside his future counterpart, future Zeno. Zeno is the king of all and the god of gods. He has a childlike and innocent demeanor, which masks just how powerful he really is. According to Wheeze, there were originally 18 universes, but when Zeno was in a particularly grumpy mood, he destroyed 6 of them. Needless to say, his name strikes fear into the hearts of even the gods of destruction. However, he is the only one in this video who doesn't actually fight. He doesn't seem to have particularly good fighting instincts either, as he was unable to track Dispo's movements during the Tournament of Power. However, when you're one of only 2 characters known to use the Erase ability, you don't need to know how to throw a punch. Nobody in the world is greater than Zeno. He has the power to instantly destroy anything he wants, from individual people to planets, galaxies, or even entire universes in the blink of an eye. If he wanted to, he could simply erase everything that exists. Thankfully for us Dragon Ball fans, he doesn't.